So, this movie makes me hate humanity. Now, let me just explain what I mean by that. A little backstory. I saw the original Blade Runner when it came out. Of course, it came out in 1982. The actual theatrical version's not, I wouldn't say it's garbage, but obviously it's not as good as, the final cut or the director's cut, I think, is which came out before the final cut. But real quick, I was going to say, if you haven't seen the Blade Runner 2049, go watch it. It is one of the best sequels ever made, and I can actually mean that when I say that. I mean, this movie is so has so many layers and it's just so deep. This movie is just so amazing. Like the thing that's funny about this movie is that I think all the trailers are amazing, but a lot of people that I know saw the trailers and were like, yeah, I don't know if I want to see that because I don't even know really what it's about, and it looks kind of like it might suck and all blah blah blah. But I mean, I just saw it for the second time like a couple hours ago, and it went by so much quicker the second time, which is a little whatever, a little side note. But my main focus of this little mini review or whatever is just to get these thoughts off my chest, I guess, and to just say that, oh my god, this movie is so good. Like I can't believe, like I was saying from the beginning, I hate humanity because this movie's flopping so bad. When you get movies like It, which honestly I don't want to be that guy, but I really thought that It was okay at best. I mean, it didn't really bring anything new to the table. I mean, of course, it was a fine movie. It wasn't bad, but it was just like passable. It wasn't special in any way. It was no different than the actual made for TV movie they made, in the 90s. I mean, it obviously had a different take, but it didn't push it any further. If that makes any sense. Whereas this movie, like, it's insane because if you've seen the original Blade Runner, which if you haven't, check it out. Watch the final cut first, then maybe watch the director's cut if you want a better color correction. But the final cut has more like blood and gore, which is kind of cool. Whatever. But anyways, Blade Runner 2049 like takes the first movie and it pushes it farther, and it's not pushing it farther in a way like the Force Awakens did, where it just pretty much copied the first movie. And don't get me wrong, I really love the Force Awakens. I had the Force Awakens. The Force Awakens. Wait, was it Force? Oh my god, I really liked Star Wars Episode 7, but you gotta admit that Episode 7 and Episode 4, which is just Star Wars essentially, they're the same thing if you think about it. Like in the in the grand scheme of things, they're the exact same movie. Like the exact same key points happen in the certain scenes and whatever. And not that that's a bad thing. Well, I mean, it is a bad thing to be honest, but I still enjoy that movie and I love that movie. But that's why I love Blade Runner 2049 so much more, and I think it's such a great film just because it doesn't do that. It doesn't do the Force Awakens thing. It takes its own life with it. I mean, of course, there's callbacks and certain things, but it doesn't feel forced, and it's not just to be like, hey, look, you ever seen the original Blade Runner? Oh, look, it's Harrison Ford. It's not like that, where Star Wars is like, oh, this is my ship. What do you do? Blah blah, like type shit. It's like no, there's a reason why this stuff happens. I mean, I guess mini spoiler. Not really, but Harrison Ford doesn't even show up till like the last quarter of the movie, and he's barely even in it. And the thing about this movie is that I'm trying to keep this reviews or thing about this review is I'm trying to keep it spoiler free like my other reviews. I mean, this is my second review so far, because I don't. I'm new to this, but anyways, this movie is meant to be where you don't know anything about it. I mean, it makes it so much better. And it's kind of funny because the way they marketed it is awesome because they did that. They didn't really show you much about it. They just showed you like the atmosphere the movie takes place in, which is really cool. So yeah, I mean, this movie is amazing. Check it out. It's so good. Like it just bought it. I'm just so mad that people aren't watching this. It's so amazing. And the thing is, even if you haven't even seen the first Blade Runner, you can still watch this. Like there's certain things where you'd be like, I don't get it, I guess, but I mean, I feel like you'd still be able to figure it out because it's not stuff that really is important to know. They'll be like, "Oh, who's Deckard Shaw?" Or I think his name is Deckard Shaw. Who's Deckard and who's Rachel? So you'll get questions like that. But when this movie's over, you'll be like, "Oh, well, it didn't really matter who they were because it kind of explains it enough." But of course, it'd be nice if you watch, the original movie. But also, on YouTube, there's like 3 little shorts that the director did, which I was gonna say real quick. The director is amazing. He also directed Arrival, if I remember right, Sicario, Prisoners, which I really love, and there's a couple more. I think he made literally a movie every year, and they've all been amazing since like 2013 or something like that. But anyways, yeah. So back to that thing. Warner Brothers actually put out 3 like short films, I guess, on like YouTube or whatever, and one's about one of the characters in the movie, his like backstory, and another one's about this thing called the blackout that happens in between Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. And there's a third one, which is about I kind of forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Oh no, it's about the Tyrell Corporation coming back into power with the replicants. But anyways, this review got way longer than I thought it was gonna be. Like I said in my last review, but and at the end of the day, all I really want to say is watch this movie, give your money to people like this, because they could have easily done a shitty like action. Oh, let's do an action thing and made it like garbage and made a bunch of callbacks that were unnecessary just to make the callbacks to like think they're pleasing the audience that watched the original movie, but it's not really what it was. It just felt forced. I don't know. I'm going back to Star Wars. No, but anyways, like this director is amazing. Like we want more movies like this. This movie is literally a 10 out of 10. I say that, and I'm super critical. Like most of my friends are like, wow, you're so like not rude, but it was what word I'm looking for. Like you're so negative and all this stuff, and I'm not. I don't think I'm negative, but when it comes to movies, I'm super critical because I'm a huge movie person, and when I say a movie's 10 out of 10, like I never say that. Like I've never the last movie. I don't even think there's any other movie in my mind I can think of that's a 10 out of 10. Maybe like a Stanley Kubrick film like Clockwork Orange or like 2001: A Space Odyssey or whatever. But in recent memory, like that came out in my lifetime, because I'm only 20, I can't think of any other movie that would give 10 out of 10. And some people were saying that, oh, this movie felt too long and it didn't need to be almost 3 hours long. But I mean, this movie, like I was just saying, I watched it 2 times, and the second time it felt like an hour. And the first time it did feel a little long, but I mean, is warranted though. Like it sets you up in the universe. But anyways, this review has gone way too long. All I'm gonna say, last take, even though I've said that already like twice, watch this movie, give your money to this people, because this director is amazing. This movie's amazing. We want more movies like this, not stupid movies that just pander to the. Because goddamn, I hate my country. Everybody just wants the stupidest shit that just pleases them. Like that's why Marvel's doing so great. And I don't want to diss Marvel in any way, because I actually really love a lot of the Marvel movies, and I think that the Phase 3 is amazing. And I like the Avengers and all that, which sounds kind of funny from like, just anyways. But I like that stuff. But I mean, it sucks. That's like the only stuff that really makes money, you know. And it's just a shame because those movies are fine, but they don't push the envelope. They don't do anything really different. It's just you can sense everything coming from a mile away, and that's just most movies. And I'm not saying that this Blade Runner 2049 is super, like you're not gonna guess some twists or something like that. But I mean, it's just the way. It's just I don't know. I kind of can't really say too much without spoiling it. So I'm just gonna say, for the 10th time, go watch it. Put your money into this director and in this movie. This movie's amazing, and I'd buy this on Well, I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out. So yeah, you guys have a great day.